Hey, how y'all doing out there in video land? This Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. Well, what we got here today, got an unboxing. Come from Blade HQ. Blade HQ. You guys see that? All right, here we go. Doing the unboxing today is the one that's been my work knife since I purchased it and received it. My CruWear Military 2. And I must say I absolutely love this one. Absolutely love the CruWear Military 2. It's awesome, people. But it's a right-hander's knife. It's not a lefty knife. You can use this with your left hand, but it's not easy. It's really a right-hand knife. That's the way I would classify this one. It's sort of like my tie light. You know, they need to make them for left-handed people too, I think, because this is really an awesome knife to carry and work. You know, carry for a work knife or carry as an everyday knife if you like bigger folders. The reason being because it's super light, and the compression lock feels, you know, it gives you confidence. I mean, it feels like a strong lock. It's definitely stronger than a liner lock. I feel comfortable with it. I would feel comfortable using this knife as a self-defense folder. That's how I feel about the compression lock. I feel like it's a really good lock. No, it's not a triad lock, and it shouldn't be trying to compete with a triad lock. It's not a deadbolt. No, I'm not saying that it's like that, but I'm saying it's a strong lock. It's not a weak lock. And this knife is like super easy to carry and super lightweight. I absolutely love these. This is my second Military 2. It's my second one. All right, let's see what's in here. Let me see how we want to open this. Like this. All right. New Spyderco. Oh, what's this? Oh, we got like a little patch or something. Let me check underneath this popcorn and see if there's anything else in here. That might have been it. I might have thrown that away without knowing it was in there. Nice box, nice popcorn, nice packaging. Always like when things are packaged really nice, so your items don't get damaged. Little patch right there. Blade HQ. Oh! I didn't even show you guys the box. I was excited about this one, people. I'm sorry. Here we go. Yes, it's another Military 2. It's my third Military 2. All three of them are different. I don't have one Military 2 that's like the other. Oh, we got a little Spyderco patch or sticker. Let's see what else is in here. Just the normal standard stuff that you always see in Spyderco boxes. There we go. I'm gonna put this in here too. This one's gonna stay out. It's a user, people. It's going right in my drawer, right in my rotation drawer. I didn't get it to be a collector. All my Spydercos, I buy them to be users, really. I don't really buy Spydercos to be collectors. I know they're very collectible. I know that. But to me, a Spyderco, it's like a cold steel knife. It's meant to be used. And here we go. Well, this was nicely centered. My CruWear is slightly favors the show side. Slightly favors the show side. My CruWear. This one looks centered. At least right now, because my CruWear one was centered when I first got it too. And after using it and fidgeting with it and playing with it all the time, this one's super stiff. Oh yeah, that's probably too tight right there. This one needs to be loosened up. I think that's too tight. Oh, I love these scales though, people. I love the scales. I like that they're really thick. And this is a military, it looks like a military knife now to me. I've been wanting one of these that's all blacked out. And I decided not to get the one with the blacked out handles because I already have a military too. Just speaking of that one, let's bring that one into the picture. This is the first one. S30V. I got one. This is a pre-order when they first came out. It was like $174 or something like that. It was specially priced, low price when they first came out. I think it was like $174 or something. Now they're over $200. But this is the first ones for the first batch when they were first released. This is a Knife Center pre-order knife. I take it back. I had it on pre-order at Knife Center, and then I called it off because the seller that I purchased this one from, I think it was the same seller, was selling these knives. He had them before Knife Center had them, and so I went ahead and got this one. And he was selling them for the same price, $174. The initial price, just like this one, I got this one for $213 on eBay from the same person, and that was the low price. That was the pre-order price. But this one's been carried a lot. It's been highly used. I love it, and this one is the reason why I got this one. Now this one's been carried a lot. Just went to work with me today. Just got home from work. Absolutely love these people. I think it might be my favorite Spyderco. I know I like the Manix 2XL, but I think I like this one more. I like the Spyderco Military 2 with the compression lock. And this is the new one. Finally got a blacked out one. This is S30V. It's nothing super special or anything about the steel or whatever. Now, I would still like to get one more if they ever make it. And you guys might be able to guess what that might be, if you read the comments and stuff like that. But I would like to have a Military 2 Salt with Magna Cut and a G10 handle. I like to have one like the black, like the, what's it? The Para 2, I can't remember if it's a Para 2 or Para 3 Salt. The black G10 one with the really cool looking handle scales, G10 handle scales, and the Magna Cut blade with the blacked out Magna Cut blade. I would like to have one like that, only be a Military 2. You hear me, Spyderco? Hear me, Spyderco? Please? Please? That's the only other Military 2 I'd want. I'm not worried about the S90V one with the carbon fiber scales, or the S110V one with the blue scales, blue G10 scales. I'm not really a big fan of S101V, people. I know it's a super high edge holding steel, but it's also super brittle. And if any of y'all have been following me, you know that I don't really care for super brittle steels. I want a knife that also could be, a good self-defense folder. And to me, a knife with a real brittle steel is not a good self-defense folder. As soon as it hits something or comes in contact with something hard while you're fighting or wrestling around or whatever, the blade's gonna break. Then what good is a knife? I want something that's durable. Something that's a little bit more durable. That's why I like this one. The Micarta CruWear is durable. S30V is a good steel too, people. Since they've been, comparing it to S35VN and S45, it holds its own really well against the other steels. Even though it's one of the older, older powdered steels, it still holds its own very well. So, I wouldn't knock it. And, as far as I'm concerned, my cutting needs and stuff like that, I've been using S30V now for a while. you know, with the Spyderco knives. My very first Spyderco compression lot was the Sliver Axe. And this is a S30V one too. And it's made in Taichung? I mean, I can't remember. Taichung, Taiwan. Taichung, Taiwan. Whereas all of these are made in the United States. But this is my first one. It has a carbon fiber. Is that like a carbon fiber laminated or something like that over G10 handle scales? Was it carbon fiber or was it something else? I can't remember. Can't quite remember on that one, people. I'm sorry. I've had this knife for a long time. And I carried the mess out of this one. The only thing bad about this one to me is that it has hardly any detent at all. And it's like, one time it was in my pocket and I went to go draw it out my pocket and it caught and snagged my pocket like that and cut my pocket. So I do like a knife with a little bit more detent. This one doesn't have enough detent, but I love the knife though. The knife is like super handy and it feels, even though it's a flipper and a compression lock, that's one reason why I got this one, because I had a flipper. And that during this period of time, I was into flippers. And this was like a super safe looking flipper to me, and I went and tried it out. And to me, this is like one of the safest, little knives that you can have. Because your hand fits all the way in here in this finger choil. Even if you're in the reverse grip or in the forward grip, your hand's all the way in here. And even if the lock was to come undone or you got spine whacked or something, it's never gonna fold in on your hand, people. This is a very safe design. Very super safe design. I really like it. But as you all know, I like bigger knives. And this one has like a small handle for me. But I really like this. If this knife was like a 4-inch blade, it'd be perfect. 4-inch blade with, like a 5-inch handle or something. It'd be perfect. Because I really like the ergonomics of this one. I think this would make a great self-defense folder. This one right here. The one after that was the Amalgam. Because I really liked that one. And I started to get this one of the first ones, but it was like more money than I wanted to spend. Because this one was like over 200, I think. And this one was like 170 or something like that. And so I ended up getting this one, but I always wanted this one. So eventually later on I got this one. And this one's like a more heavy duty. This one feels pretty stout for a compression lock folder. And this was also made in Taichung, Taiwan. The handle material is the same. I want to say it's like a carbon fiber elite or something like that material laminated over G10. I can't remember exactly what it was, people. You guys can look it up. But this is a really nice knife too. I like the Amalgam too. But one thing that sort of bugged me about the Amalgam is like when you close the blade, see like it did right there, the blade tang or the flipper hits your finger. I don't know if I can show you guys. But see, like right there, it just hit my finger. So you got to take your finger off of the compression lock as soon as you touch it. Otherwise, the flipper will hit your finger. It's just another thing you got to get used to. Because if you leave your finger here, your finger will touch it and then it doesn't work the way you want it to. It's a beautiful knife though, it's a beautiful knife. And same thing with this one. This one slides by your finger, but you can still feel it hitting your hand. And I sort of didn't like that. But anyway, I carried the mess out of both of these knives. Both of these knives are great knives. But when the next one I tried out from Spyderco was the Trophin. That one's put away in the safe, people. So that I wasn't able to get that one out. These knives are all out. But That one I really didn't like because when it was folded in, the blade would come up to where the lock release is, and so it's like it gets really close to cutting your fingers and stuff. I ended up dulling the blade right at the beginning of it so it wouldn't cut me. But I just thought, why they design it like that? And they had too many ways to open it. It had like an Emerson, a really small hole that was really hardly even usable, and the flipper. I think sometimes when knives have too many ways that you can open them, it sort of messes them up because the knife just gets too busy. It's like it's got too much going on. But anyway, that's where I started with the compression locks, and then I evolved over to here, and then I evolved this one. And when I got this one was perfect, and it still is perfect. People, centers out perfectly. This one's perfect. Absolutely love it. And one thing I sort of noticed too is that the ones with the G10 scales are a little bit stiffer. The handles, as far as like, being able to squeeze them, are a little bit stiffer because I think the G10, G10 is just stronger than Micarta. Whereas like this one, so I can get the flex a little bit. And so I just noticed that. That doesn't bother me though, because it doesn't flex like a whole lot. But you can flex it a little bit. Whereas like on these you can't. Or at least I can't. These are like, really stiff. And I sort of like a really stiff handle. So, even though I do like I like the exposed liners and the Micarta scales, because I love the way Micarta looks, I still love the way this G10 one is made too. Especially this one. I really like this one. I like these scales. This is the first time I ever had these kind of scales. These camo scales like this. I'm digging it. Especially with the blacked out blade and hardware. This looks like something I would have had when I was in the Army. As a pocket knife. This is really cool. I like this one. I like this one, people. It might be my favorite one as far as the way it looks. I really dig it. I have to change where the pocket clip is, though. But anyway, this is the new one. Absolutely love them, people. Highly recommend the military. To me, the military and the Manix 2XL are the two Spydercos that I really, really, really like. And I haven't really tried a whole lot of Spydercos. I've tried the Sliver Axe, the Amalgam, and the Trophin, and I have two Chinooks. I don't even know if they make Chinooks anymore. Those are the ones with the power locks, the old school power lock that was more like a triad lock. It's a Spyderco's version of a back lock. Let me see. And I think that's it. And then I have a bunch of them. I think I have like 4 Manix 2XLs. I have a bunch of Manix 2XLs because I have 2 black ones, one that I never used, and one that was my first Manix 2XL, and that one's all worn out, and I refurbished it and with new parts and stuff like that. It looks nice and it works great. It's a blacked out one with the S30V blade, and I put OD green or real dark green Micarta scales on it from bladescales.com, and I put a backspacer in it, black backspacer in it. And the other one is the CruWear one I got, and I put G10, Natural J G10 scales on it from bladescales.com. And the other one I have is a CruWear also, but it's a collector. I never use it or anything like that. I got it just to collect it because both of them were special edition knives from Knife Center. Exclusives. And they were cheap. they're like $174 or $170 something or something like that. So, you know, I thought that was an awesome deal, especially when the S30V ones were going for like $200. And those were CruWear. I like CruWear. CruWear is one of my favorite steels. CruWear, 3V. I never had, well, yes, I have. I have a M4 and M2 speed steel from Benchmade. And those are like my favorite, you know, like carbon steels for pocket knives. Oh, and D2. I like D2 too. I know a lot of people don't like D2, but I think D2 works great for me. It works great on my Demco. My Demco, I got the K110 D2 on my Demcos, and that still works great. It holds a good edge. But anyway, absolutely love these people. I highly recommend the Military 2s. As you all know, I'm mainly like a cold steel person, but this is one knife that I really like. I really like the Military 2. I think it's an awesome knife. Now, I'm not talking about, you know, for self-defense. I think this could be a great self-defense knife, but the main thing I use this for is for utility use. And utility use for me is like food, a lot of food prep, a lot of opening packages and boxes, and, you know, just doing utility stuff, you know, everyday utility stuff. And these knives work great for that. These are great for, you know, opening up letters because of the way the points shape and stuff like that. You know, it's better than using the Tontos. And and they slice meat and things like that really well, slice cheese really well. They're great. They're great knives. If you sort of look at it, it sort of looks like a dinner knife, doesn't it? Like a steak knife. Think about what a steak knife really looks like, and you know, the way the edge is shaped. So it is sort of like a culinary knife. The knife shape itself, to me, is more like a culinary knife than a self-defense type knife, you know, intended to be a self-defense knife. I don't know, to me, like the best blades for self-defense knives, people, are stronger blades that are like saber flat ground blades or saber hollow ground blades. I would rather have something like that with a really strong spine and a thicker tip. If I'm going to use something for self-defense, because I want something that's not going to fall apart on me. Whereas this is pretty thin. That's pretty acute. It's going to slash and stab like super well. It'll pierce like super well. And it's going to slash super well. But the blade itself is like, I don't know how much strength that is. This part, the rear part of the blade, looks real strong because it looks like it's like about 3.8 millimeters thick, but it thins out all throughout the blade. It doesn't stay thick until the tip. It starts thinning out from back here. And it gets narrower and narrower all the way up to the tip. Which makes it actually, you know, a good knife for cutting chores. You know, for doing cutting tasks, utility tasks. And that's the way I think of Spyderco knives. I think of them as utility knives. I know like the Ujimbo and stuff like that, it's all designed for self-defense and stuff like that. But that one has a delicate tip too. And so I don't know. I just think that, you know, a good self-defense knife needs to have a stronger looking tip. I don't know. Doesn't need to be a pry bar or anything like that. It just needs to be stronger than this. Because this looks like if it hit something like bone or something, and you went to go retrieve the knife out of it, it looks like you snapped the tip off. But for everyday cutting chores and utility use, these knives rock. And they're fun. This one's all broken in. You saw this one, because these don't have bearings. These are washer knives. They have phosphorus bronze washers. You see how this one is? So that needs to be broken in. This one is broken in. Broken in. This one's broken in. This was the first one that got used. I absolutely love this knife, people. And I like the S30V. You know, don't knock the S30V. If you can't afford an S10V or S90V or whatever, you know what I mean? The S30V is just as good, people. You know, let's be honest with ourselves. Do you really need a S90V knife? You know, something with a super hardcore cutting edge, or a S110V where it's, you know, the cutting, that's all it could do is cut. It can't do anything else because the blade is so brittle. do you really want something like that? Or would you rather have something that's a little bit tougher and still has a really great, you know, it's known for having a great, you know, retaining a really good edge. And it's not too hard to sharpen. You know, with diamond stones. I always use diamond stones on pirate steels. But diamond stones with this is easy. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I like S30V. I know a lot of people knock because they say it chips and stuff. I haven't had that problem. But then again, I don't do like, I'm not cutting things that I shouldn't be cutting. I use knives and tools the way they're meant to be used. I don't use them to abuse them. You know, I'm not trying to tear up stuff. Just to see if I can help, you know, if I can tear up something or not. This one works nice too. If you put a little bit elbow grease into it, there you go, like that. Let me put a little lube on it. Maybe it just needs a little bit of love, a little bit of lubrication. I'm absolutely digging this one, people. So now I got a dark one to carry when I want to carry a dark one. I want to be a little bit more concealed. That's the purpose of this one. Because I've decided I really like the military too, and I like carrying it, and I like using it. It's one of my top 5 folders of all time. That's how much I like it. Now I was a little bit leery about the compression lock at first too, but you know, I've decided it's a strong lock. I've experienced it on several different knives now, and you know, all of them work perfectly. And the knives don't fall apart, you know, like you know, screws all come loose and all that kind of stuff, and need a lot of maintenance all the time. These are like low maintenance knives. Well, on the CruWear ones though, I'm always wiping them and stuff because when I get done using them, I always wipe them down because I don't want it to rust or get stained. So I always wipe them off and stuff like that. S30V ones, you don't have to worry about them that much, but S30V will rust too. Because I've seen it tested in salt water by, was it Cutting Board Reviews? Cutting Board Reviews, he did a saltwater test with the S30V and it rusted. Whereas MagnaCut didn't rust. That's pretty cool. Anyway, people, there it is there. There's a new addition to my compression lock Spyderco family. And I'm only gonna get one more if they ever make it, and that'll be the salt. That's the only other one I want. I have all the military tubes I want now. I have a dark one so I can carry it when I need to carry a dark blade, be a little bit less conspicuous. Because these pocket clips are really shiny. Now I'm not gonna put a thing on it unless they come out with some black ones. They don't have any black things like this yet. Lanyard hole plugs. Because I don't want to get one of those ones where you have to take apart the knife to put the lanyard hole plug in it. These are just 2 pieces, and this side screws into this side, and so you don't have to take apart anything. It's really easy setup to do. Get them on SD. I'm gonna leave this one just the way it is. I'm just gonna swap the pocket clip over here. That's the only mod I'm gonna do on this one is change the pocket clip. I absolutely love it. I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels in my hand. This G10 feels a little bit different. It feels a little bit grippier. It feels more like the peel ply from Demco 8020S or the 8020 models, the peel ply. And the 8020.5 handle skills that Demco sells, that John Demco makes. I really like it. Now I don't know what kind of finish this one is. I know my other Spyderco, my Manix, those have DLC coatings on it, and it's a flat DLC like this, like what Cold Steel is using now on the Recon. But I bet you this is a DLC finish. Knowing Spyderco is probably DLC. But I don't know for sure, people. Might be something else. But I'm going to assume it's DLC. The advertisement just said it was a black blade. Blade HQ. And The good, cool thing about this, how much do you think I bought it for? What do these usually go for? Like $220 or something like that? $225? $230 or something like that? $240? I got it for $154, people. They had a special sale at Blade HQ. It was like a one-day sale or something like that, and I just happened to see it. And I saw this one, because I've been looking at this one for a while. I actually was looking at this one when I bought this one. I decided I didn't want to spend the extra bucks to get this one. And so I got this one. But now I got this one for less than what I paid for this one. This is the most expensive one so far. This was $213. This was like $170 something. And this is $154. All of them were brand new when I bought them. And they had the plain ones going for like $149. And they had they didn't have the CruWear, but they had the S110V. That one was going for $199. I think it was $199. But like I said, I don't want that still. I'd rather have S30V over S110V myself. That's just me, people. Everybody do what they need to do. I think all these steels cut very well. You know, just about all the steels nowadays to me, especially like the powdered steels, just about all of them are really good. You know, sure, one may cut, 30 more cuts than the other, but who cares? I don't. All right, people. I know I'm probably just rattling on now, but I'm happy to get that one. The new Military 2. Let you look at the markings. These are 4-inch blades. Let me see. Wait, real quick. Because we didn't do any specs or anything. Let me do this real quick. Weight. 4.3 ounces. CruWear. 4.4 ounces. Well, it's lighter than the CruWear. 4.4 ounces. So this is the lightest one. CruWear is probably heavier because you got the full stainless steel liners. These both have stainless steel liners too, but they're embedded, so they're not as wide as the CruWear ones. But you can see inside there, you can see the stainless steel liners. And they're skeletonized. All right, what else can we do real quick? Zero it. There we go. 3.67 or 3.7 millimeters. .66, 3.7 millimeters. .66, 3.7 millimeters. So they're all the same size, people. Blade length, 4 inches. 4 inches. 4 inches. Handle length, 5.5 inches. Total length, 9.5 inches. 5.5, 9.5. 5.5, 9.5. The width of the handles is 1.25 inches. And they're all going to be the same, people. 1.25 inches. Beautiful knives, people. Military 2. Now y'all know me. When you see me get 2, 3, 4 of the same brand or same model, it means I really, 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 really like it. I really, really like it. These only got one each. And don't plan on getting any more. I love them. You know, they're part of my collection. But they're not the ones I carry anymore. These I carry. These I carry. Absolutely. This one's a beautiful knife. I just like the way that, I love the way the Micarta feels. I've always been a fan of Micarta because I just like the way it feels. It just feels natural. I don't know, it's just got a natural feeling to it. I love G10 because it's durable. It's strong and it's durable and it's almost got the same tensile strength as steel. You know, G10's a really good material, handle material for knives too. All right, people. Well, let's call it that. The end of this one. Peace out. Stiletto. Hope everybody's doing good out there.